Well, on behalf of United States Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 4101 Kenosha Racine, welcome. We're standing beside Lake Michigan at Coast Guard Station Kenosha on a beautiful spring day in order to witness a proclamation from Mayor John Antaramian and Kenosha County Executive Samantha Kirkman declaring May 20th through 26th, 2023 to be National Safe Boating Week in Kenosha. Also with me today is Sheriff David Zerner, Chief Petty Officer Eric Wisorek, Officer in Charge of Coast Guard Station Kenosha, as well as past commanders of Flotilla 4101, Anthony Pasqualone and Pamela Mundling, and of course, Mayor John Antaramian of Kenosha here. And of course, behind us we have the true heroes of Kenosha, the crew of Coast Guard Station Kenosha. The U.S. Coast Guard has had a long relationship with the city of Kenosha. The first life-saving station was established here in 1879, which merged with the Revenue Cutter Service to form the Coast Guard in 1915. In 1939, the Coast Guard Auxiliary was established by Congress, and 4101 was enthusiastically organized by local residents to man this station during World War II. Some of the worst shipwrecks in American history have occurred near Kenosha's coast, as well as plane crashes, pollution events, and innumerable small craft emergencies. But for almost 150 years, the crew of Coast Guard Station Kenosha has literally saved several thousand local lives. Generations of families have had their loved ones returned to them solely because of the bravery and skill of the Kenosha Guardians. This past Saturday was Armed Forces Day, where we honor these fine men and women who have protected us. You have earned our sincere thanks, appreciation, and respect. We Coast Guard Auxiliarists are local civilian volunteers who serve in uniform as a component of Team Coast Guard under the Department of Homeland Security. We support the active duty personnel in most mission areas, one of the primary ones being public education for greater safety and recreational boating. National Safe Boating Week, officially established by President Eisenhower in 1958, puts a special emphasis on public outreach as the boating season begins for the year. By far, most boating deaths occur to ignorance of proper boat handling and the lack of a life jacket. Wear it, because it will save your life. Our next remarks come from Chief Petty Officer Eric Wisorek, Officer in Charge of Coast Guard Station Kenosha.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks, Lars. Thanks for getting this all put together for us. And thank you, Sheriff, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being here, and all of our partners. Just want to say thanks to the crew, first of all, getting everything ready for us, getting ready for a busy season. Just like most agencies, we are facing a little bit of a personnel shortage, but we're definitely going to make it happen for the boating community out there this year. Just remind everybody to keep an open mind. Remember that it's big water out there. It definitely is colder than you think. So remember to bring the proper gear, whether PFD, whatever else it might be, your life jackets, bring it with you. Be safe, look at the weather, and look after your fellow mariners. Just want to say thanks again to our partners, Wisconsin DNR. We have a good relationship with them. Obviously the Sheriff's Department, Police Department, Kenosha Fire. Appreciate all their support because it was quite a challenge getting us restarted again in 2021 when we took over here, and we couldn't have done it without their help. So say once again, thanks to the community of Kenosha and my crew, and looking forward to a safe 2023 boating season. So thank you.
Please welcome Executive Director Samantha Kirkman of Kenosha County.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here with the mayor and the sheriff and the team. Boater safety is so important, and it's the reason why we're here today. I grew up on an inland lake called Powers Lake, so a much smaller lake. But last year, tragedy struck our lake in the middle of the summer. A young 8-year-old was swimming off the same pier that I swam off and jumped off, I don't know, thousands of times while I was growing up, and it really hit close and home to me. And from that moment on, we had worked with the Coalition Around Water Safety to try to bring more awareness that, yes, we have this great lake right here with Lake Michigan, but our lakes inland are just as challenged by some of the recreation and some of the challenges that come along with not having proper information, the flotation devices. There was also another incident at one of the other lakes in Silver Lake where a boater was out. Actually, there were two adults and one child. The child had a flotation device on. The two adults did not, and the gentleman had jumped into Silver Lake, and the water was kind of cold, and lost his way and started to drown. The young woman on the boat didn't know how to start the boat to move the boat over to try to get closer to him. She tried to throw him a flotation device, and because the wind was so strong, the life jacket went away, went further away. And so obviously those are the types of situations we want to bring awareness to about having the proper personal floating devices on as you go and jump in the water. You just don't realize it. I want to say though, in that one situation in Silver Lake, the young 5-year-old that was swimming who had the life jacket on was saved by a nearby boater. So there was some good that came that day, and we can learn from those tragic mistakes. So I have, and I don't, with the mayor, we have a proclamation to give on to recognize Boater Safety Week. So thank you. Okay, yes. The proclamation. So it's a proclamation made jointly by Kenosha County Executive Samantha Kirkman and City of Kenosha Mayor John Ancheranian. Whereas Lake Michigan and Kenosha's inland lakes provide a multiple of recreational opportunities for our residents and visitors alike. And whereas National Boater Safety Week is observed to bring attention to the important life-saving tips for recreational boaters so that they can have a safer, more enjoyable experience on the water throughout the year. And whereas the Kenosha U.S. Coast Guard Station was established in 1879, and the Kenosha Coast Guard Auxiliary Unit, the oldest in the state of Wisconsin, was created in 1939 to help ensure maritime safety on Lake Michigan. And whereas Water Patrol units work to ensure safety on Kenosha County's inland lakes, and whereas the Coast Guard estimates that human error account for most boater accidents, and that life jackets could prevent nearly 83% of the fatalities. And whereas throughout basic boating safety procedures like carrying life-saving emergency distress and communication equipment, wearing a life jacket, attending boater safety courses, participating in free boater safety checks, staying sober when navigating, we can help ensure that boaters on offshore and inland lakes stay safe throughout the season. Now, therefore, be hereby known that County Exec Samantha Kirkman and Mayor John Ancheranian do hereby proclaim May 20th through 26th, 2023 as Kenosha County Safe Boating Week. Signed this day, John Ancheranian and County Exec Samantha Kirkman. So again, thank you so much for bringing awareness.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Do you want to stand around and get a picture on the other side?
Thank you very much.
All right. There we go. I will just jump in at this point in time for a couple of comments. First off, thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to the Coast Guard. Thank you to the auxiliary. Without you, our community would not be as safe as it is. And it showed this last weekend with the incident we had on the lake with the jet skis, and that people responded and we were able to make sure that everyone came back safe. But it's important, I think, for all of us to realize, and I guess partly in some cases since I've been around a long time, when this station closed a number of years ago, the concern in the community was tremendous. And I want to thank the Coast Guard and the auxiliary for coming back and coming back strong and bringing this post back to operational procedures, because it is so very important when you look at that. So from the comments that the county exec made, the proclamation for boater safety is all wonderful, but I think at this point in time the real issue is thank you to all of you, because you make it work. Without you, we would not be as safe a community. So thank you so very, very much for your hard work.
Before we close, Flotilla 4101, the Southport Guardians, would like to give a special thank you to Mayor Antaramian, Director Kirkman, Chief Wazorek, and Sheriff Zurin. Thank you. I wrote that down earlier. The support you are showing to our public safety mission is not unnoticed. It is public attention like this that will prevent unnecessary loss of life and property. Sirs, ma'am, please accept this gift, our unit's limited edition challenge coin, as a small token of our appreciation. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you again. As a final note to local boaters, always remember, first and foremost, to wear your life jacket. 80% of drowning victims were not wearing one. Take a boating safety course, take advantage of our free vessel examinations, and of course, have fun. It's going to be a great boating season. Let's make sure everybody comes home. If you have any questions about best boating practices or are curious about volunteering some of your time to yourself to become a Southport Guardian, we would love to hear from you. Message us through our Facebook page or email us at uscgauxkenosha@gmail.com. That's uscgauxkenosha@gmail.com. This concludes our program. Have a great boating season, everybody. Thank you very much.